Okay, so here we are adding and subtracting integers. The key to adding integers is realizing it means direction. That's all a sign means. One's going one way, one's going the other, and if they're going the opposite direction, we'll sort that all out. So for number 10, these guys are both the same sign, negative, which means you're going left 6 and left 14. So if you think of this as a number line, I have to travel left twice. Here I am at 0. I went left 6 the first time, left 14 the second time. That's a total of 20 to the left, which makes it then negative 20. So I know there's like rules that they're the same sign, but then do this. No, think of this as direction. They went left twice, so it stayed negative. So it's negative 20. Now where the rules come into play is what's the deal if they're opposite signs? So we have positive 12, which means right 12. We have negative 16, which means left 16. So the question is, how do I reconcile that? Well, that's where the rules kind of come into play. But again, thinking of this in practical terms, it hopefully makes a little more sense because it's supposed to. The first question is, what direction did I go more of? Right or left? Well, 16 is more than 12, which we say the absolute value, but just again, practically speaking, 16 is more than 12, so it means I went more to the left. So the question is, how much more, really? Well, that's going to dictate what our number is in the end as far as what's called its cardinal value, or the digit, or whatever, however you want to describe it to yourself. But more importantly, since I went more left, that equals negative. So in the end, this number should be negative. Now the question is just simply how much negative, or what value? Well, that's where it comes into play of the 16 versus the 12. So I went 16 left, I went actually 12 right, and then back 16. So that's when I end up in negative land. Well, if I want to figure out how much it's more negative, I got to figure out how much isn't being overlapped. So, or how much more it is at least. So that's why the rule says do 16 minus 12, because it says subtract the two values then. But the reason you're subtracting it is, your questioning is how much more did I go? So I went 12 to the right, 16 back to the left. I'm going to go 4 more to the left. That's why the answer in the end is negative 4. Okay. Number 18 then. The temperature in Rockford, Illinois was negative 3 degrees. Then the temperature rose, number 18. Then the temperature rose 7 degrees. What's the current temperature? Well, it was originally negative 3. Hopefully, I know it's not showing up very well on the screen, sorry. Negative 3, and then it's going to rise 7 degrees. Well, it's rising, it's going up. That is positive, positive 7. Okay. So what I really have is negative 3 plus positive 7. So again, think of this as directions. I went left 3, right 7. Which direction did I go more? I went to the right more. That's why this number is going to be positive in the end, because it's going to stay more right than it went left. The question now is simply, how much more right? Well, 7 minus 3 tells me that's 4, so I went 4 degrees. So I'm at 4, and then in this case it's 4 degrees Fahrenheit. But it's plus 4 because it's more to the right than it is to the left, and it's 4 more, that's why it's positive 4. Okay. Now 24, okay, this is when we have multiple numbers. Okay. And my rule for multiple numbers is always group the positives together, group the negatives, because again, thinking about the directions of this, these are the ones that went to the right. These are the ones that went to the left. So how many to the right did I go? Well, 13 plus 20 tells me I went 33 right. Negative 7, how much to the left did I go? Well, negative 17 and negative 13 is, well, it's, if we ignore the signs, 17 and 13 is 30. So I went 30 to the left. So now when I add those, thinking about that, which really is, again, mathematically speaking, not kind of practical speaking, 33 plus negative 30 is what we're saying here. I went more to the right, so I know that should be positive. The question is, how much more to the right did I go? Well, 33 minus 30 is 3, so positive 3. And then last but not least, number 30 out of the book, 21 minus 42. Okay. That is 21 plus negative 42. That's what that really means. So I went 21 to the right, 42 to the left. So really what that means, I'm going more left than right. And again, I can do all this inside and then take the absolute value afterwards. I should have said that. Do this first, then do your absolute value. So I know this number is negative. So 42 minus 21 for the distance is 21. So it's negative 21. But the absolute value is positive 21. So a lot of times the mistake made here is just to make these both positive first and add them, but I can't. I have to do the subtraction first, and then once I do the subtraction, then I can do the absolute value. So that's section 2.2.